the San Francisco football down as well, San Francisco 49ers and the Washington Commanders pulled off one of the most surprising trades of the offseason. A wide receiver swap sending Brandon Ayuk to DC and Terry McLaurin to the Bay Area. It's the kind of rumor that sounds wild at first, but when you start connecting the dots, it might not be so far-fetched. We're talking about two highly talented receivers, both facing contract frustrations, both reportedly feeling some level of discontent with their current situations, and both on teams that might benefit from a change. Now, let's take a moment to really break this down. Brandon Ayuk is coming off one of the best years of his career, and yet despite his production and consistency, the tension between him and the 49ers front office has been bubbling since that Super Bowl loss. Right. After the defeat, Ayuk's inner circle was hinting at a potential move to the Raiders. Then came the cryptic posts, the videos, and eventually the public comments suggesting that he didn't feel valued by the team. And even after he finally got his payday, $30 million per season, it still feels like something's off. The relationship seems strained, and the speculation about his future hasn't cooled down. On the other side, you've got Terry McLaurin, also known as Scary Terry, a guy who's been nothing short of a model professional since he entered the league. Drafted in the 3rd round out of Ohio State, he's done nothing but produce year after year, and that's despite playing with a carousel of mediocre quarterbacks. We're talking about a guy who's gone over 1,000 yards in nearly every season since his rookie year, despite catching passes from Carson Wentz, Sam Howell, Taylor Heineke, and others. Last year, with Jaden Daniels finally bringing some stability to the position, McLaurin posted arguably his best season yet, racking up touchdowns and proving once again that he belongs in the conversation as one of the top wideouts in the game. But here's the twist. McLaurin isn't happy either. According to reports, he's frustrated with the lack of movement on a long-term deal. He showed up for voluntary workouts and then unexpectedly left. Nobody's sure whether he'll report to mandatory minicamp, and you can't really blame him. Back in 2022, he signed a 3-year extension worth a little over $68 million, which at the time made him a top 10 paid wide receiver. Fast forward to today, and he's not even close. The wide receiver market has exploded. We've seen Christian Kirk reset the bar a few off seasons ago, followed by massive deals for guys like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, and even DK Metcalf, who just got a new contract with the Steelers. Now Chase is pulling in $40 million per year, Jefferson is at $35, and Ayuk himself is tied for 7th at $30 million alongside Tyreek Hill. Meanwhile, McLaurin is sitting on a deal that looks ancient by today's standards, and he's about to hit 30. The Commanders are reportedly hesitant to commit big money to a receiver his age, even if he's been reliable, productive, and largely injury-free throughout his career. So you've got two receivers, one frustrated despite just signing a massive extension, the other unhappy because his deal no longer reflects the market. Both still have plenty of gas left in the tank. Ayuk is younger and probably has the higher upside. McLaurin has been more consistent and more resilient, proving himself even in chaotic offensive environments. On top of that, there's a fascinating web of personal and professional connections that make this idea even more realistic. Let's start with the Commanders' front office. Adam Peters is now running the show in Washington, but before that, he was the assistant general manager in San Francisco, working closely with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. He knows Ayuk well. He helped draft him out of Arizona State, and Ayuk just happens to be best friends with Jaden Daniels, the Commanders' new quarterback. The two go way back, played together in college, and have kept in close contact ever since. Daniels even attended Ayuk's wedding this past offseason, which, by the way, Brock Purdy did not. That might not seem like much, but it speaks volumes about where the personal bonds lie. There's also the fact that Ayuk has publicly stated he'd love to play with Jaden Daniels again. He's posted videos, appeared on podcasts, and made his feelings pretty clear. At one point, he even said, "The Niners don't want me, bro," during a FaceTime call with Daniels. So if the Commanders are looking to make their quarterback happy, bring in a top-tier weapon who already has built-in chemistry with him. Ayuk might be the perfect fit. Now let's look at the 49ers situation, with Deebo Samuel not looking like the same player he was during that 2021 run. Slower, more banged up, And with Jawan Jennings headed into free agency next year, the wide receiver room could use some reinforcement. And while Ricky Pearsall shows promise, he's already dealing with injuries. So the idea of bringing in a steady veteran like Terry McLaurin, who's proven he can stay on the field, rack up yards, and be a leader in the locker room, could be very appealing. Plus, if the Niners can get him at a lower cap hit than Ayuk's, $30 million per year, it might be a smart financial move as well. There's always risk, of course. McLaurin is older. At some point, he could hit that cliff and start to decline. We've seen it before. Amari Cooper is a good example. He went from elite to average almost overnight. The 49ers would have to bet that McLaurin still has at least a few elite years left in him. But if he does, and if the chemistry with Purdy clicks, he could be a huge asset in Shanahan's offense. He's precise with his routes, tough after the catch, and brings that professional mindset that Shanahan loves. And let's not forget the money situation. Swapping Ayuk for McLaurin could allow the 49ers to get out of Ayuk's massive deal, open up some cap flexibility, and still keep a high-level playmaker in the building. For Washington, it's a chance to upgrade at wide receiver with a younger, flashier player who's already close with their franchise quarterback. It's a rare case where both teams might actually come out ahead. Of course, there are complications. The 49ers would have to absorb some dead money from Ayuk's deal, and they'd have to be comfortable giving McLaurin a new contract. That negotiation could get tricky, especially if McLaurin is expecting to be paid like a top 5 receiver. On the flip side, the Commanders would need to make sure that Ayuk is healthy and fully recovered from any lingering issues. And while the connection with Daniels is a bonus, it's not a guarantee that their old college magic will automatically translate to the NFL. Still, the more you look at it, the more this trade starts to make sense. Two players, both talented, both frustrated, both in need of a fresh start. Two teams with front offices that know each other well. A shared history, personal ties, financial motivations. It's the kind of move that could shake up the NFC and maybe even redefine both offenses. So, would you do it? Would you swap Ayuk for McLaurin straight up? Would you take the risk on the older receiver if you're San Francisco? Or would you bet on the upside of Ayuk if you're Washington? Let us know in the comments, debate it, break it down, and keep the conversation going. This is one of those hypothetical trades that might not be so hypothetical after all. And while the idea of a wide receiver swap might still seem unlikely to some, recent history in the NFL has shown us that blockbuster trades aren't just possible. They're becoming more common. Teams are more aggressive, more willing to shake things up when they believe the fit is right or the time has come to move on. Just look at how fast the market has changed. In just a few short years, the wide receiver position has gone from being undervalued to being one of the most highly paid groups in the league. That means front offices are under pressure, not just to keep talent, but to manage the cap and build rosters that can compete long term. And with that kind of pressure, tough decisions are made. In this case, the Commanders might look at Ayuk and see a dynamic weapon who's just entering his prime. They know he's a route technician, they know he can separate, and more importantly, they know he already has an off-the-field bond with their quarterback that could translate into something special on Sundays. And let's not forget the upside Ayuk brings. He's only scratched the surface of what he could be. In San Francisco, he's had to share targets with Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey. In Washington, with Jaden Daniels. At the helm and a less crowded receiver room, Ayuk could truly emerge as a dominant number 1 target. That's something the Commanders haven't consistently had in years. And with a rookie quarterback, that kind of trust and familiarity can make all the difference. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. There's a growing buzz swirling around the NFL, and it centers on a potential blockbuster move that could shake up the league. TYREEK Hill to the San Francisco 49ers. While nothing has been officially confirmed, whispers from various corners suggest that the speedy wide receiver might be on the verge of signing with the 49ers, a team eager to bolster its offensive firepower. TYREEK Hill's name has been linked, with several franchises since his explosive performances have made him one of the most dangerous weapons in the league. Known for his jaw-dropping speed, electrifying plays, and ability to change games in a heartbeat, Hill has long been a coveted asset. The possibility of him landing in San Francisco has fans and analysts alike buzzing, imagining how his presence could transform the 49ers offense. The 49ers, who have consistently been contenders in recent years, appear to be quietly positioning themselves to add a dynamic threat on the outside. Hill's ability to stretch the field vertically and create matchup nightmares for defenses fits perfectly with the 49ers' strategic vision. This potential signing could provide the team's quarterback with a game-breaking option, opening up opportunities for other playmakers and adding a new layer of unpredictability. From a team-building standpoint, Hill's arrival would also signal the 49ers intend to compete at the highest level immediately. Given his track record, his presence would bring not just talent, but also a veteran savvy that could prove invaluable in critical moments. The chemistry between Hill and the 49ers' current offensive core would be intriguing to watch develop, potentially creating one of the most exciting offenses in the NFL. Of course, signing a player of Hill's caliber is no small feat. Salary cap considerations, contract negotiations, and long-term planning all come into play. Yet the 49ers have demonstrated a willingness to make bold moves in the past, and if the rumors hold any truth, this might be another example of their aggressive pursuit of excellence. While the NFL offseason is known for its swirl of rumors and speculation, this particular one has caught significant attention. Fans are eager to see if the buzz will turn into reality, and the media will be watching closely for any official word. If TYREEK Hill does indeed put pen to paper with the 49ers, it could mark the beginning of an electrifying new chapter for both the player and the team. Until then, the rumor mill keeps churning, with everyone wondering if this sensational speedster will be donning the 49ers red and gold in the upcoming season. It's a story that promises excitement and plenty of drama, just the kind of narrative that keeps NFL followers glued to their screens. Whether it's a done deal or just a tantalizing possibility, one thing is clear. TYREEK Hill's potential move to San Francisco has ignited a firestorm of speculation that shows no signs of dying down anytime soon. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.